The PlayStation VR. Yo, this is something I'm very excited about. Being a PS4 owner, I'm very excited about this because I really want to experience virtual reality, and from what I'm seeing, the PlayStation VR is pretty good quality. It is $399 for the VR headset, for all the cables and whatnot included. The whole package. Well, not the whole package. The whole package is actually $460 because you need the Sony camera, the PlayStation camera, in order to play with the PlayStation VR. And the PlayStation camera is not included in the box because apparently a lot of people have the PlayStation camera. I don't know who these people are, but apparently a lot of people have a PlayStation camera, so not including it. So you go out and buy your $399 PlayStation VR, and then you go out and buy a PlayStation camera. These things have been out for a while, so I'm pretty sure you can get them used. I believe they're $60 new, but I'm pretty sure you can get them used. And same thing for the PlayStation Move controllers, you can get them used as well. Those are not mandatory to experience PlayStation VR, but it will definitely immerse you into the experience. So let's get on with this. PlayStation VR. The resolution, I believe, is 920 by RGB by 1080. The RGB, what that means is each pixel will have sub-pixels. So each pixel will be able to display red, blue, and green. And that will therefore will have richer images, and the picture will be a lot more smooth, correct? So that is really great that they have that. The RGB pixels, that's really great. That's for VR, you need stuff like this. And mind you, that's for the entire screen. The entire screen is 5 by 7 inch screen, and the screen is gonna be divided in two, right? So it's gonna be even more finite. So I'm pretty sure this image is gonna be pretty crisp. Not as crisp as the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift, but for $400, that's good. That's $200 less than the Rift, and half the price of the Vive. So good job, Sony. And the design looks cool. It's not strap-on. Oh, but before we get to that, under 18 milliseconds of latency. That's great. That's great. I believe it's 20 milliseconds is required for a decent VR experience, and we got under 18 milliseconds. So great job. So yeah, the actual physical design of the headset, it's not like other headsets where it's like a vertical strap and then a horizontal strap going a circumference. You know what the strap going around the head, right? It does have a strap going around your head, but the top, what I'm hearing, it rests on your head. I need to get my hands on one of these things, man. It rests on your head more like a hat. So it rests on your hat, so it's not like tied around your head to keep the head, the part that you're looking through, it doesn't feel like it's weighing down. It's not front heavy, right? Because it's like a hat. It rests on your head, and it's supported on your head, and it sits nicely. It's not like, oh, we have this big giant heavy thing on your head, and we gotta tie it to your big giant heavy thing on your face, and we gotta tie it to your head so it doesn't fall off. It sits nicely on your head, and it's balanced, and that's great because Sony is they're not like Oculus or the Vive. You know, they're just like making VR headsets. These people, they're making headsets for gamers that play on console, on a PlayStation 4, not PC. Why do people play on console? Because it's easy. You plop in a game, you know it's gonna work. It has a PS4 label, you know it's gonna work on your PS4, right? It's easy. You don't have to worry about requirements or anything like that. Ease of use, user accessibility. That is why you play on console. And that is what they are achieving with the PlayStation VR, which is great. It's a great way to get VR to the masses. And the design looks really cool. And the cool thing is, it's not just like, I'm glad they're using the camera. I'm glad they're using the Move. They're not letting their peripherals go to waste. They have LEDs along the outside of the PlayStation VR, which are picked up by the PlayStation camera. The similar LEDs on the PlayStation Move. That same technology, and that will allow for positional tracking. If you can go on videos and watch the Walk VR experience. They have you basically are walking in a line forward, and you're in virtual reality, and you're seeing the scene from The Walk. If you watch that movie, it's a really good movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and you're walking the tightrope, and you take a step in VR. You take another step, you're taking another step in VR. Positional tracking, and it seems to be doing pretty well. Now, here's my one issue. When they first introduced, I've used the Move once or twice, and when they introduced that technology, it's picked up by the camera, right? It was from what I remember, it was inferior to Nintendo's Wii controllers with their infrared sensor. And from what I'm seeing on the demos, the Until Dawn, using the two Move controllers, it's really like super sensitive. It's like you can see like he's trying to shoot, and the gun is like shaking. It's like every slight movement you make with the controller, it's picked up. Like I'm probably moving it this much, but it's like moving. It's very sensitive, right? I mean, they can dial down the sensitivity, I hope, and I hope the motion tracking is done well. From what I remember, the Move tracking wasn't as good as Nintendo's infrared with the Wiimotes. The Wiimotes with the Wii Motion Plus was superior to Sony's Move. From what I remember, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't get to play with the Move that much. But yeah, that's my only concern with that. Otherwise, $400 price point is great. Even $460, you have to count the PlayStation camera. $460 is great. That's still cheaper than all the competition. Add the whole package. You need for HTC Vive and Oculus Rift, you need a high-end PC. That's $1,000+. PlayStation 4, the PlayStation VR will run on a PS4, which is $400. PlayStation VR as a package on the whole is much cheaper if you want to experience VR, a proper VR experience. Sure, there's mobile VR out there. You can check out my other videos on mobile VR. But as from like proper VR, devices built for VR, PlayStation VR that's going to be my go-to. I want a PlayStation VR. For apps, for applications for the PlayStation VR, any games out? There are not many games that are catching my interest. Honestly, with VR, I'm not too into games. That's not what I want. I want to escape into a virtual world. I believe Oculus Rift has this game called Trials on Tatooine, and they realize this. They realize that in VR, it's all about the experience of being in the world, right? It's not about doing all these cool, it's not about like being all these gaming mechanics and, being really adept in the gaming. Sure, that's what Sony's going for, because they're a gaming, PlayStation it's a video game console. But I want them to delve into virtual reality experiences where you focus on a realistic world. I want to put on the headset and feel as if I'm somewhere else. With this Trials on Tatooine, I believe that's what it's called. For the Oculus Rift, they dialed back on the gaming mechanics. I mean, you have tasks to do, but it's not too in depth. It's just enough where you're participating, and you feel like you're there and you're involved, and you really feel like, oh wow, I'm on Tatooine and I'm in the Star Wars universe and I'm taking part, and that's really cool. It's not too involved with and I'm really that's another thing I'm looking forward to so much for what DICE and EA are doing with the PlayStation VR. They're bringing Battlefront to the PlayStation VR, and we all know Battlefront's graphics were amazing. The sound was absolutely fantastic and immersive. The visuals were immersive. That on VR is going to be freaking amazing. Amazing. I know it. And watch. I bet you they did this on purpose. The gameplay mechanics were not that in depth. It was a little bit. It was casual from what people are saying. I mean, I played the game. It is casual. I don't think it's I don't know, man. I'm not good at shooters, so a casual shooter I'm fine with. So, I mean, it's not. People who are hardcore shooters say it's not too in depth, and that's what we want in a VR shooter. You don't want something too in depth as for right now, because VR is so new. We want people to get used to VR, playing in VR. Rigs. I want to play Rigs so bad. That game looks so fun. Even if it wasn't on VR, I want to play that game. And it being in VR, that will be so much fun. So much fun. I know it. I know it for a fact. Yes, I have been to the future and have played VR. I own it. I have it. And it is so fun. I know it, man. That game is going to be so fun. I know it. I just know it. Dang it, man. I want to... If I get a PlayStation VR, if Sony, you send me one. You send me one of them PlayStation VRs. Rigs is going to be the first thing I'm buying. You can send me one with Rigs too, but Rigs is going to be the first thing I'm going to buy. That's going to be so good. And I believe that there's a bundle that they're shipping with called PlayStation Worlds, I believe, where you experience VR. That's what I want. I'm happy. I want stuff like that. I want more things like that where you can experience different worlds. Like, imagine going on a Serengeti in VR. Imagine traveling back. They have I think there's a Jurassic Park experience. I saw that somewhere. Imagine going to Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Imagine walking through Middle Earth. Imagine imagine walking around in the Battle of Hoth in Star Wars. Like, experiencing these worlds that we love. It's amazing. And virtual reality is made for freaking RPGs are made for virtual reality. That's I mean, it's limitless. Imagine what was that game on Wii U? I love that game. Trauma Team, a trauma-centric game in VR. Amazing. The endless possibilities, man. The endless possibilities. So, PlayStation VR, I want to get it. I really do. I want to experience VR so bad. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section on PlayStation VR. Do you think it's worth the price? $400, $460? I think it is. From what I'm seeing, I think it's going to be worth the price. And it has over 160 apps being developed for it. See, here's the thing. This is not going to be like... It's not going to be like motion controls, where Nintendo did it, and then Microsoft tried to do it, and then Sony tried to do it after, and then it died off. No, I think virtual reality is going to be here for the future. See, because motion controls can be implemented into virtual reality. Imagine the Kinect in virtual reality. I mean, the Kinect in AR is going to be freaking amazing. But here we're able to use these peripherals in VR. VR is not going to be just used for gaming, which is why I see a brighter future for it. We have other companies, big companies that are investing so much time in VR, and they're serious about it. If they're confident about it, it's going to catch on, Nintendo had a great thing with their motion controls, but they had hardware limitations with the Wii, and they couldn't achieve what they could have achieved. Look at the PSP, but And then I guess I can't really say because PS3 had Move and it didn't really. I don't know. But I feel like I'm feeling this VR because it's so the potential, like limitless potential. VR, PlayStation VR. I'm sold. I mean, I'm not entirely sold because I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm seeing a very bright future for PlayStation VR. So let me know down in the comment section. I went off on a little rant that was a little tangent that was completely unnecessary right there. But let me know down in the comment section what you think about PlayStation VR. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth the $460 price? Because it is $460 with the camera. If you don't have the camera, do you think it's worth the price? What do you think? Do you think the display is enough? I haven't experienced it, so I can't really say. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the PlayStation VR down below, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.